Does it ever feel like your mind never stops? Like even when you try to rest, even when you try to focus, thoughts keep spinning in circles, replaying memories, conversations, mistakes, and worries. You're lying in bed, but your mind is wide awake. You try to watch a show, read a book, or even meditate, but the thoughts won't stop. You feel trapped, restless, exhausted. This is overthinking, and it's more common than you think. The first thing you need to understand is that overthinking is not a flaw. It is not weakness. Your mind is naturally wired to react, to analyze, to prepare for what's next. It reacts to everything: a text, a small comment, a glance, a memory, a worry about tomorrow. Each reaction sparks another thought, and the mind becomes a chain reaction. That's why it never rests. That's why it seems impossible to find calm. Every thought seems urgent. Every worry feels necessary, and this creates chaos. The Stoics, men like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, noticed this same struggle. They understood that the mind is often its own enemy. They called it automatic impulses, reactions before reason takes control. A thought arises, and immediately we respond without pause. We imagine the worst, relive the past, plan endlessly for the future. Our mind convinces us that we must solve, fix, or control everything. And so the cycle continues. But the solution is hidden in plain sight. The moment between stimulus and reaction, that brief pause, is where freedom begins. When a thought arises, you can pause, you can breathe, you can observe. You can let it pass without judgment. That pause is power. That pause is choice. The Stoics trained themselves to notice that gap. They learned that not every thought needs a response. Not every comment needs analysis. Not every situation requires emotional investment. They practiced observing thoughts, letting them exist, and deciding deliberately whether to act. In doing this, they gradually learned that the mind could rest, that clarity could be restored, that peace could be achieved. This is not just philosophy. This is practical guidance for anyone trapped in overthinking. You may think your mind is broken, that you are too weak to stop this mental storm, but the truth is that your mind is reacting the way it was designed. It's just untrained. Overthinking is a habit, not a personality trait. And like any habit, it can be reshaped. Begin by noticing the triggers. Watch your thoughts for a day. Observe when your mind spirals. Notice which memories, words, or fears spark the endless loop. Awareness is the first step. Without awareness, nothing changes. Awareness allows you to step outside the chaos, to see the thought for what it is, to understand that it does not have to control you. Then, practice the pause. Each time a thought arises, stop for a moment. Do not immediately engage. Breathe deeply. Let the air fill your lungs. Center yourself in the present moment. This simple act begins to separate you from the mental noise. You are no longer a prisoner of each passing thought. You are an observer. Next comes choice. After the pause, after the breath, decide deliberately how to respond. Do not react from emotion. Do not act from impulse. Choose with reason, choose with calm. The more you do this, the more your mind recognizes that it is not being dragged into chaos. Slowly, over days and weeks, your mind learns that stillness is possible. That clarity is achievable. That peace is not a dream, it is a skill. Overthinking feeds on attachment. Attachment to the past, to the opinions of others, to imagined outcomes. It grows when you chase it, when you fight it, when you feed it attention. The Stoic teaches the opposite. Observe, attack, and respond deliberately. The thoughts that once hijacked your energy begin to lose their power. Your mind is no longer a battlefield. It is a tool, precise, calm, and clear. As you continue this practice, you will notice changes in everyday life. Small comments will no longer hijack your focus. Mistakes will no longer create spirals of regret. The memory of past arguments will no longer echo endlessly. You will respond deliberately, not react automatically. Overthinking will shrink because you stop feeding it. The mind that never rested will gradually find peace. This practice requires patience. It is subtle. At first, you may feel that nothing changes. Old habits are persistent. Your mind will try to pull you back into the loops. That is natural. Do not fight it. Do not become frustrated. Return to the pause. Return to the breath. Observe again. Choose again. Every repetition strengthens your control. Every repetition builds calm. Eventually, your mind becomes disciplined. The chatter that once consumed hours of thought will no longer dominate your attention. You will be able to focus, to work, to plan, and to live without being hijacked by every passing thought. Calmness becomes natural. Mental clarity becomes habitual. Freedom of mind becomes your default state. Remember, this is not about escaping life or suppressing thoughts. It is about mastering the mind. It is about realizing that your mind is a tool, and like any tool, it must be trained. Stoicism teaches that the world outside is often beyond control, but the mind, your responses, your focus, your attention, is within your power. This is where freedom lies. So begin now. Notice your thoughts, pause, breathe, choose. Each moment is a chance to practice, to strengthen, to reclaim your mental clarity. With time, the mind that never rested will learn to rest. The mind that was once chaotic will learn calm. The mind that seemed trapped will find freedom. Your mind can finally rest. The constant chatter, the endless spiral of what-ifs and should-haves loses its grip. You are no longer a prisoner of every thought. You are aware. You are deliberate. You are free. Breathe. Choose. Calm. Focused. Free. This is the Stoic answer to overthinking, and this is the practice that will change the way you live your life.